Holy fuck, that was annoying. Okay. What was that? Did I get a text from someone? Give me a second. Huh. Let's see. Okay, sorry about that. I was gonna say, so I was watching a video on how they, another person, how they approach the strat, And they used a really good, as you saw right there, that's pretty much what I copied pretty much. Now, as you saw in the past, I tried using my abilities on the bosses, but like those debuffs and stuff, but it didn't work. And it played the same way as the video did, so I don't know if it's just pure coincidence, but the first time doesn't work, but then multiple times it'll get working. And then I saw side block, I did immediately, so she couldn't use Starstorm. I didn't know that was a thing, because, you know, I used it a lot, but rarely did it work in the past. But now I got it working on that boss, so maybe I'll try it in future bosses. And then I was just boosting up stats because that's what the video did. And as I was thinking about it later, our mana gets reduced in the end. So I was thinking when we get to that portion, Paula's not going to be useless. So I made everyone super strong and got to the point where shield was no longer needed because I kept dropping her down. So that's a very good strat I'm going to try for future bosses. So you've even taken me down. How far do you plan to go, I wonder? How if I know? How far is far enough? That no one truly knows. From the viewpoint of a dead woman, at any rate. Tell me, what is this hummingbird legend? I've never heard about it in my life. Don't lie, just tell it to us straight. You still think we can count on anything this chick says? Just tell us, that should be fine, right? Yes, that's right, you never knew about this. I heard it was important, but this is my first time seeing it in person. Indeed. As for what is inside, it is tightly packed with records of all prior times. Those prior times, well, let me get this straight. Right, there are 2 times that was deemed significant. One from the distant past, the time where there was the dragon, as well as one even more ancient than that, when the power of PK love destroyed all life on the planet. However, I cannot see the records of this destruction of all life in much detail. It seems to be protected by some kind of powerful security. Thus, I can only tell you about the time from the age of the dragon. That'll be fine. Yes. Well, perhaps it would be best to have them talk to you about it. You're a little late considering your importance in the topic at hand. So it's come to this, has it? You! She's shady as hell, too. Can we trust her? I don't mind if you do or not. I haven't a moment to spare. The time is nearly at hand. So I'll tell you about who I am. There was once something called the world. Indeed, it included not only Ginsoki, but your world as well, Ness. And that unbelievably wide world was brought to destruction upon the time. The ones who destroy it were the people in this very Ginsoki. This annoying, deathly quarrel continued in this way to involve even the outside world. Ginsoki was destroyed and its contents were dumped on the outside. The outside world too had only the most fragile of peace. The yokai, Ness, did you not see them as similar to the aliens you once fought? The humans outside thought the same way, and they were not entirely mistaken. So they battled desperately, and such was the result. Absolutely nothing was left in the outside world. All that I just spoke of is what is soon to occur. So that's what's recorded inside this strange egg? I cannot confirm that, but surely it would be in there. The reason being, I saw it happen in person. I'm sure you have questions, but I shall continue. The end of the world was at hand. Many people tired of fighting. No, they didn't want to fight in the first place. So they set out on a voyage to find a sole peaceful place on this planet. Was there such a place? Indeed there was. They called it the Nowhere Land Islands. And why was this place peaceful? Well, I'd heard there was a dragon deep underground, but now I do not know the truth, being that no one has ever laid eyes upon it. What I do know for certain is that the islands had 7 needles stuck into them. And then these needles protected a shield of boundless power. That's all I can say for sure. Do you understand that? I don't mind if you can't. It's over now. Anyway, it's an era that can't be allowed to come again. The people who came to the islands were definitely afraid of the world being destroyed again. Had the world been destroyed because of the way we had been living? That was what we concluded at the time. So we decided to forget who we had been before and live under new rules. We forgot our memories of the Rune world and we cut ourselves off once more. We made a new Ginsoki, so to speak, just as everyone desired. However, if anything were to happen, wouldn't we be unable to handle it, having forgotten everything? So we sealed our old memories into that hummingbird egg. And we hoped that if a crisis approached, it would help us to handle it. Thus, we needed a person who could recognize such a crisis. Their name was Leader. Well, I'll elaborate on that later. In our new world, born out of ruined old, we should have had an everlasting peace. But what threw everything into disarray was one who crossed time and space. It was the fault of one called Porky who stumbled upon us. He was able to practically ignore space-time, omitting details, but thanks to him, on those nowhere islands, the same thing happened there as it had here. He destroyed our last shred of peace, and then the fighting began. As for how that ended, Yuriko there told you about it a while ago. Like when? There's something tremendous buried directly underneath Gensokyo. It was once referred to as the dragon. The dragon possessed near limitless amount of energy. If you use that seal power, it will surely be possible to destroy Gensokyo then remake it. My words verbatim, that's the one, yes? Precisely, the world was made anew. Into this place you live in now. Outrageous, so you're trying to tell us that the world that they remade was on the verge of the time? It's now? Yes, that's correct. Of course, while you say on the verge, there was just enough time for everyone to forget the facts. However, there's just one person who remembers everything, and who could take utmost care of the egg. Yes, of course there would be. Indeed, despite any change in form, they would always take on this duty. This time, to better intervene with humans, they used the appearance of a hermit. It's been a long time. Ness, Paula, I thought we might never meet. I suppose you're uncertain what kind of response you should have to that. Well, I don't know you well enough to know either. This isn't all I came here to talk about. I shall speak of what's going to happen next. First of all, a certain boy will tear down the walls of Gensokyo. With the so-called phase distorter infinity, that is when the time will begin. So you mean Jeff is the start of all this? For better or worse, yes. Lady Yiko, lend them your power. This is all I ask of you. All this comes to a single conclusion I've made. The struggler could not be allowed to go outside. This is why you must stop Jeff and the rest. An old friend is already taking action out there, so I beg of you. We will serve as your foundation. Ness, I just thought of something. Is it possible that we have everything backwards? Alright. I'm gonna stop it here. I'm not gonna touch the dialogue. Just gonna, unless it autos. Okay. Well, we'll see how this auto plays out for now, and then, you know, once it gets to the point where I can like pause for a second, then, you know, I'll do my outro. Okay, chapter 7, to be myself. Okay. So let's give my thought. Oh, I think it's gonna do its thing. Or maybe not. I think I have to press something. So, oh fuck, never mind. It's doing its thing. Okay, good. So we can just talk. So, that's gonna be it for this episode. So pretty much we've just dealt with a lot of shit. Okay, not really much, I would say. We just had a long fight with Yuriko. The main importance is that Kasen, or whatever this leader thing is, saw the end of the world, or the verge of it, the point, and then they kind of erased everything, which is pretty intense. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty deep for a plot. Now, you understand, obviously I know this was made a long time before the events of WoW, so I'm not gonna I can't really complain about it, but it's just, it's so fun to see Kasen with this kind of role, right? And then, obviously, now we know what happened to Kate. We know Kasen more because of WoW and the end of it, and she was just so Oni and Oni who wanted her fucking arm back. Kinda. She just wanted to know where the fuck it was in the beginning and just deal with that. And she did get it in the end. That was all there was to it. She's not them, like, fucking shit. She's not like the messenger or whatever, this leader or whatever it is, right? She's just an Oni who's just a hermit who wanted her arm back, and she got that shit done. Like, you know, nothing too crazy, and Tenchi, but obviously, like I said, that's just how it is. Just before it was created, obviously. So yeah, but that's gonna be it, and we're getting to near the end game of this. So this should be, we're almost done. So it'd be cool to see how it plays out in the end. But yeah, like always, this is Magi. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Video.